So people are slowly joining in, and we will start momentarily. Feel free to turn on your camera so we can see you. If you're here in the Zoom meeting. We can become aware of our body at this present moment. And we can become aware of the emptiness all around us and inside of us. You may be able to notice the heart beating, or the eyes seeing, or the ears hearing. And our practice here is that we're actually not getting so involved in what we hear or what we see or what we feel in the body or what kind of experience come up in the mind. But instead, we are seeing, hearing, breathing. The content of what we experience, the story, the colors, the like or the dislike, not important, not real. Tomorrow is not real. But we shouldn't attach to that. We shouldn't believe in that. We should abandon tomorrow being real or not being real. Real and not real are to be abandoned, not to be attached to. Just like the different colors that we are seeing, it's not important. Sometimes people, because I am teaching meditation, sometimes people want to talk to me about their meditation experience and that they are seeing colors or hearing things. And actually today I meet a woman who very successful meditator. She come to the temple, she donate lunch for the monks here in Tokyo. And she describing her meditation experience where there is no body and no mind, just awareness, a real experience, right? A deep experience where there is nobody there. This is just like stubbing your toe. Not to get attached. Not to fall into the self-story, the self-belief. I have this experience. I am at this level. I'm this kind of person. I am a Buddhist monk. I am from Myanmar. Death is not going to listen to those ideas. And death is just a part of impermanence. Death is also impermanent. Really, there is no birth and no death. This is just something that comes up because we are ignorant, because we don't know about the truth. If we can endure, if we can be willing to look closely and not rely on our feeling or our sense that something is permanent, something belongs to us as a identity, like this experience is related to our identity. If we cannot get stuck in that, we can look more and more closely at this present moment experiencing. It's kind of like this principle that the most skilled job in the world, this idea, the most skilled job in the world and the most easiest job, low skilled job in the world, both have the same need to keep your job. And that's to show up. It's more important that you show up than if you are skilled or not skilled, or high level or low level, or having this kind of experience or that kind of experience. And what are we showing up to, and who is showing up? That's not clear, actually. That's not solid. And we don't need to answer these questions. That's not what's most important. We have to show up. We have to be here. It's almost a mistake to pick up a meditation method or try to understand what this situation is, or to try to practice. Because our true nature, our original nature, is right in front of us. It is us. It is here and now. Everything that you experience, everything that you notice, is a signpost of your true nature, is a signpost, a reminder of freedom, reminder of present moment experiencing. So that's the interesting part, isn't it? That it doesn't matter if you're skilled or unskilled. Being a skilled worker or not being a skilled worker is so much less important than showing up. The best, the highest skilled worker in the world, if they're not going to show up, you would rather have the lowest skilled worker to hire them, to pay them. And not if we are skillful or unskillful or doing it right or doing it wrong. It's that we arrive to this direct experiencing, this present moment, this noticing. This willingness. We are willing to show up. We are willing to be here. We are willing to notice. We are willing to experience. It's our willingness that we need to develop. Our willingness to breathe in this present moment experiencing. Our willingness to embrace life. Our willingness to just be here and face it. And if we encounter confusion or complicatedness or difficulty, we transform it. With our willingness, with our embracing, with our breathing. And it's this curiosity, it's this interest, not based on assumptions, not based on desires, not based on ideas, but this present moment curiosity that fuels our authenticity, the authenticity of this experience. That curiosity, that looking closely is not about someone. We're looking too closely for it to be about someone, or some place, or some time, or something. Mental experience comes up, physical experience comes up. We're too curious. We're too looking to be stuck on that, to be confused by that. In meditation, we can close our eyes. We can use a meditation method, following our breathing, many different meditation methods. But if we start to get into a drowsy state, or a kind of a vague state, a foggy state, then at that time we open our eyes. Don't get stuck on that foggy state, that sleepy state, that dull state. Meditation is really defined by our sense of curiosity, our sense of interest. Our sense of coming home, back to the present moment, back to our breathing. Back to the curiosity of this present moment experiencing. Even if you were just sitting in a closet, it's actually a very curious situation to have a body, to have a mind, to breathe. So we open up, we widen our awareness, and we relax any someone, any something. Aware of our breathing as it flows in and flows out. Aware of our heart and body just sitting here. And although the mind goes to different places or pulls us along, just settle the mind on breathing. Let the mind breathe and be aware. We are not getting into a state in meditation. If you are chasing a state, a particular experience, you will just, it's like you will fall into a dream. You will make yourself dream that, oh, I'm having my meditation experience. You won't really get anything out of it. Moment by moment, over the period of time, we are going beyond a period of time. Refresh and restart. Begin again at this present moment to be aware of your breathing. Many people during the time since I started talking just now will not take another breath. They will not have a human life anymore. They will not have this capacity to refresh and to restart and begin again. To see clearly and to embrace the reality that we are experiencing. We can simply follow our breathing as it flows in and flows out. It gets to a point where there's no reason to talk, no reason to get involved with ourselves. Just silence is enough. Just breathing is enough. Just embracing and being here now is enough. As we practice like this, we are cracking the shell of the self. We are cracking the shell of anything being permanent. We are cracking the shell of this wrong view that there is a mental phenomena or that there is a physical phenomena that is going to satisfy us moment by moment. Physical phenomena and mental phenomena are not going to satisfy us. We want to be satisfied. So continue looking closely. Continue to detach. To be aware and let go. To untangle. Just sitting here. I am just sitting here. Breathing and aware. And these difficulties that we encounter they're just invitations to come home. So we go further in our meditation practice, not by force, not by controlling, but by this willingness to abandon. Because these precious feelings in the body or in the mind come up and we are attached to them. We are involved with them. So we notice that feeling, we notice that thought, we notice that certain kind of experience that we might be having right now, and we are willing to let it go, to continue facing, embracing, looking at this present moment experiencing. And this present moment experiencing, you don't need to do anything. You're not creating the present moment. You're not creating this mental or physical situation. So rather than effort, it's a willingness to be, to face, to endure. And to enjoy. When we practice skillfully, there's a lot to enjoy. And it's important that we have either a sense of curiosity or that feeling of enjoyment in our meditation. Otherwise, we won't actually be pulled into the relationship with what's happening right now. We'll just be kind of forcing ourselves to hang around or to deal with it or to face it, but we won't be pulled naturally to be more and more in relationship with the present moment. And it's all experimental. If we really become skillful, if we really develop, then that's according to something a lot more subtle, a lot more deep than doing this or doing that. It's your heart, it's your willingness. To let go, to detach, but to be aware, not to reject. And the stillness we emphasize in meditation, or the silence, or the one meditation method that we stay very close to, we focus on this because of how easy it is to get carried away. So the more still we are, the more quiet it is, the more we stay close with just that one meditation method. It's kind of like we are protecting ourselves from getting carried away, getting lost. But if you force that, if you attach to that, it's also going to be an issue. Forcing yourself to stay still, or trying to force yourself to the meditation method. This is really something to be enjoyed very deeply, and very few people have an opportunity to enjoy like this, and to be like this. Very, very few. So let's do a repentance chant now. Okay? And this is a very lovely and wonderful practice where we chant together and we bringing up recognition of our past difficulties or past unskillfulnesses, our past karmas, okay, that have arisen from greed, hate, and delusion. Not our personal greed, hate, and delusion, but the primordial greed, the primordial hate, the primordial delusion. And through actions of our body, speech, and mind, we have made a mess of things. And there's nothing more wonderful and joyous than recognizing that we've made a mess and atoning for it. Maybe not taking responsibility, but we atone, we take care, we show up for it, we accept to it, we embrace it, we free it, we resolve it with our presence, with our heart, to change our life. This is one of my favorite chants and practices. So the text, to make sure everybody can see this text here. Okay, let's see. Let's try this. So the words are, maybe someone in YouTube can write it in the chat for the YouTubers, but the words are all my ancient twisted karma born of beginningless oh my goodness, I'm forgetting how to spell here. Born of beginningless greed, hate, and delusion. That's not going to work out. Formed of body, speech, and mind, I now fully atone. Okay, so let's try to chant this together, and if you can't keep up with the words, that's okay. You can take the words in and kind of bring them into your heart and practice along with it that way, okay? But we'll do it 3 times, and it's kind of a slow chant, so you should be able to harmonize and kind of follow along. Okay? So we can all bring our hands together, and you are invited to chant along with me. All my ancient twisted karma, born of beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, formed of body, speech, and mind, I ancient twisted karma, born of beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, formed of body, speech, and mind. I now fully atone all my ancient twisted karma, born of beginningless greed, hate, and delusion, formed of body, speech, and mind. I now fully atone. And we can make a bow. So at this time, we can massage our face and our head. We can massage our eyes, our ears, our nose. Any tension places in the body, you can massage them. Okay, so at this time we have the opportunity for asking question or sharing experience. And please feel invited and encouraged to share, ask a question if you have something. Okay? Okay, Christina.
Yes, hello. When you talk about here and now, I think of small children. They always live in the here and the now. They are like Buddha.
I love it. That's the best for me. And actually, I think for people who have a small child in their life, I think one of the most wonderful practices you can do is to follow them. You know, take them to a park or take them to a place and just, let it rip, let them go, and just follow them and allow them to wander and just be in the wake, right? Like a water, the effect of the boat in the water of them wandering. And that's a wonderful practice.
Yes. Yes, I met a small child the other day, so I thought about it because they're always here and now.
Right. And I was giving a teaching yesterday for the Vietnamese yogis, the Vietnamese meditators, and I was talking about The durian fruit. Does anyone here know the durian fruit? It's not an ideal analogy for Western people, but it's a tropical fruit that stinks, has a very strong stinky smell. And our true mind, or the mind of the child, is like a durian fruit, a fresh durian fruit. The child stinks, but it's fresh. Actually, it's a delicious experience, delicious fruit. But as we get older, right, we still stink, and we are still the durian fruit. We still have our true nature, but now we are rotten, right? We are kind of stuck in the clouds of our defilements and our complicated thinking and our social positions and all these dynamics that we're involved with that children just aren't. And it's kind of this sad thing when people box children into these dynamics, or kind of force them to take this role or this position, right, of being limited, when actually our true nature is limitless. Our true meditation is a limitless meditation. It's how we live our life, right? So that's a wonderful observation, Christina. Anything else? Okay. It's nice to see you. Okay, anyone else to share?
I mentioned last time that I've been meditating quite regularly for the last 5 years, and when you first said that, I forget what you said. I'm sorry. I was into it, but that you don't get out anything of going into like a trance-like state. I understand being present in the body, and I've had some pretty. I think when people go into a trance-like state, it's more about connecting to everything around you. It's been my experience to use a single pointed focus, whether it be your third eye or your breathing, or and using your senses to stay grounded with everything that's going around you, using your sense of smell to recognize what you can smell, using your ears to hear everything that's happening around you, and the using your sense of touch to feel the wind, or any breezes that come through, or even the temperature within the room, and just becoming very aware of that. And the only other thing I wanted to say is that I've learned that prayer is when you ask for answers, and meditation is the listening for the answers. And it was a very nice meditation tonight. Thank you.
How about Alicia? You like to share your experience, your understanding?
I just want to say thank you. This has helped me a lot. I'm been going through a lot here lately, and it's really helped me, I guess, be clearer on some things. Everything. It's really helped to calm my mind down and to just be. Thank you.
Just try to remember that the source of your calming down and just being is it is not about a place or a time or a person. It's just to remember, to recognize. And an easy way was what Aaron was saying, right? We stop our complicated involvements, the complicated situation. We're kind of in the midst of it, but we stop being involved with it for a moment, and then we just start to listen, right? We start to just see, we start to just feel, and especially just to breathe. You know, that can be a powerful practice when you're going from one place to another, right? Maybe before you go into the office or into your job, or after you leave, or, you know, before you go into another activity, just to stop for a moment and take a few deep breaths and feel that peace and that freedom and that reality, right? That truth of impermanence, right? All of this complicated stuff, even your body and your mind, are just impermanent. So you don't need to get too worked up about it, you know? It's these jobs or relationships or experiences are to be used only, experienced only, not to be trapped in or confused by or even involved with. You choose what you want to be involved with, but everything else in our life that we kind of have to do or we need to take care of or whatever, or people are to be used only. People are to be experienced only. You know, and we really need to have that power of stepping back. Be ready to step back, because otherwise we're just spiraling into someone else's mind and someone else's expectations and someone else's ideas of us, and we're just, you know, you'll find yourself down the line, I don't know how I got here. I don't even know what's going on, you know. So we can avoid that by stepping back. And in that case, we are setting boundaries, like, I don't know about that, or, you know, we can set boundaries with what we say, but a lot of times people can push us or manipulate or this kind of thing. But when we have that power, that ability to step back from that particular person, that particular place, that particular time, the story of the situation, and believing in that story, and we can just step back and the present moment experiencing in our body, the breathing, the feeling of our body, the recognizing of our body just sitting here, being where it is. There's a power there. There's a freedom there. It's not going to be perfect, but if we can remember that stepping back, then we're kind of creating a safe zone for ourselves, a buffer zone for ourselves. And over time, if we remember this, we can develop a deeper and deeper relationship with this stepping back, this detachment. And then we won't have to, as in terms of social situations, we won't have to set boundaries as much, because people are going to feel that we are not one to be bullshitted with. Right? But that's not because you're rough and tough and, you know, you're working out or putting on a mean face, or you like to argue and stuff. It's not because of that. It's because you know how to step back, and people can see that you're not just floating in the clouds and eating what's ever given to you. You're not just looking closely, but also you're uninvolved. You know how to be uninvolved. You know how to just be aware. And that's really a power. Any moment to be uninvolved and aware.
I definitely have to work on that. Definitely will.
We're all working on it. That's why I wear these robes. That's why I following the golden Buddha here, because we all try to work on this. And there are these 5 precepts, these 5 guidelines to help us in a big way. So don't kill. And for most of us, that means for sure, don't run around killing bugs and stuff. All right? I mean, if you've got an infestation, that's kind of a do your best. And for all this stuff, it's a do your best. But part of doing your best for not killing is going to be watching how you consume. Right? The overconsumption of meat every day, meat all the time. I need to have meat. We reduce it, and we're aware of how much we're involved with that, and we reduce it a little bit. So that's don't kill, and also it's to be very careful and skillful in how we interact with others as well. To not step on them or hurt them or discourage them, right? Not to kill their sincerity or their peace or their freedom or their trying, right? We want to kind of cooperate with people. So don't kill, don't lie or speak harshly or talk nonsense, idle chatter. Okay? Don't lie, don't speak harshly, and don't just talk about stuff to talk about stuff. Don't gossip. Our language should be practical, right? And otherwise, don't talk too much, but especially don't lie and don't speak harshly. What's the next one?
Yeah.
Huh?
Sexual misconduct?
Is it? Yes. No. Don't steal. Don't steal. So don't snoop. Don't be snooping around. It's like those celebrity gossip magazines. The insanity of that. It doesn't matter. It's not your business, right? So we don't snoop about other people, or it kind of goes along with that idle chatter or that non-practical talking. Don't be snooping around. Don't be stealing. Don't be taking what's not offered. Is really important. So don't kill, don't lie or speak harshly or just speak to speak. Be careful about it. Don't take what's not offered, and that means that also not snooping around. That's a habit that a lot of people have. If someone's phone's next to us and we're looking through it, don't do that. It's not offered to us. Be very careful with our sexual energy. Do not commit sexual misconduct. This is a very, very important one. Okay? And you have to look at that, how you want to work with that, right? How you're very careful about it and skillful with it. And it's basically that you don't harm yourself with it and that you don't harm other people with it. And a part of that can be abstaining or being less involved or stepping back from sexual activity, certainly. But the main point is to be careful and skillful with your sexual energy. And finally, don't take intoxicants. If you're taking intoxicants, if you're intoxicating your mind, this also goes with media, right? If you're taking in a lot of heavy, intoxicating, traumatizing media, right? A lot of us we have traumas, and then it's almost like that trauma is an energy source. So we're re-traumatizing ourselves for some experience, because we like to have excitement. We like to have something deep. So we're re-traumatizing ourselves. So be very careful about the content that you are consuming. And that is to don't become intoxicated. If you're going out and getting drunk, if you're going out and getting high a lot, then it's not necessarily that you can't be super enlightened and doing those things, but at least for me, I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to change my life. And I know that intoxicating myself and being reckless with my sexual energy and taking what's not offered, snooping or stealing or whatever it is, speaking harshly or speaking in a just not skillful way, and killing, or not being aware of how my actions are related to killing, right? Then I'm not going to be empowered to do the work that I want to do. So I'm going to keep those in mind. That's going to help me to be more mindful regularly. It's going to help me change my life. It's a protection, right? It's actually a kind of protection, and it can be very, very powerful if you stay under that umbrella of your precepts. So you can keep that in mind too. You could even, I've thought about this, get a poster, Quran, get a poster and put it on your wall that says, don't kill, don't steal, don't lie, and then also some extra information, and look at it every day, read it every day. Anybody can do that. And you just have that in your memory, you have that imprint in your mind, and you carry it with you. That means that you're not just being skillful in how you live, but you're also watching how you live. We have a member of our community named Morgan. And Morgan was telling a story once about how, starting to look at the way that she ate, or like the, killing, how killing relates to like eating a lot of meat and buying a lot of meat, right? That going to the grocery store changed from being just like, okay, what am I going to get to consume? Right? What am I going to get that tastes good and feels good and fills me up and then, comes out of me? To how am I consuming, and how it became a mindfulness activity. It became a taking care of my mind and the world activity, just going to the grocery store. So these precepts can really change how we interact with life in a powerful way. Okay, anyone else? Okay, we can all bring our hands together, and we'll have a little prayer followed by 3 sadhus to finish. So sadhu, spiritual word going back to ancient India, and we're also saying the word, and this word sadhu meaning well done, good job, may it be, right? It's kind of recognizing the virtuousness, the goodness of this activity, and may it be continued and shared out and prosper and continue. So we can all kind of chant that and express that after these few words. By the power of our practice, may we all be free from suffering. May we bring benefit to the world and those who are around us. May those who are around us be free from suffering, and may those who are around us bring benefit to us. May all beings throughout space and time be at peace, free from fear, safe and happy. May we all rejoice in this wonderful activity and share this practice with all beings throughout space and time. May it be, may it be, may it truly be. Sadhu. 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 We can all make a bow to each other, to our practice, and to our inherent, natural, enlightened mind. Okay? Thank you all so much for being here. And we will have a meeting again tomorrow at the same time. So maybe see you there. Bye-bye. And you YouTubers, don't forget to like and leave a comment. And thank you all for following along on YouTube. Wishing you well.